Eats, Shoots, and Leaves by Lynne Truss. Summary from 4-Minute Books. Written by Maria Dayek. One-sentence summary. Eats, Shoots, and Leaves offers a humorous yet instructive overview of how punctuation rules play a huge part in our writing language, and how today's society has become overly relaxed about using the right punctuation marks, leaving grammar-concerned people like her frustrated. Favorite quote from the author. Proper punctuation is both the sign and the cause of clear thinking. Lynne Truss. There are many books out there that talk about a multitude of topics. However, there aren't that many books addressing punctuation marks or the lack of them. Eats, Shoots, and Leaves by Lynne Truss talks about the importance of keeping grammar intact in our writing and ensuring that society keeps track of the right punctuation rules. From periods to commas, exclamation marks, and apostrophes, the author touches base with them all and provides an easy-to-follow guide about grammar rules and punctuation marks. She will teach you how to use them and when, but most importantly, she'll help you understand where they don't belong. Here are 3 of the most interesting lessons from the book. 1. The apostrophe can be used in 8 ways correctly. 2. Writers can use commas more or less as they please, while they respect the rules of grammar. 3. Certain punctuation marks look bad if you overdo them. If you think you know how to write correctly and express yourself on paper, you'll want to think again. These lessons will have you reconsider your punctuation marks and get the best out of your writing skills. Lesson 1. There are 8 correct ways to use apostrophes in a sentence. A language is like a living organism. It lives and develops with time. It twists and changes every once in a while, and as new people learn it, it alters its structure. However, for the grammar-conscious people out there, it seems that a language is much more than just a way of communicating. Writing is an activity that must be carried out under certain rules. These rules are set in place by people way before us, and they will exist long before we're gone, which is why grammar is a sacred concept. The apostrophe seems to be the punctuation mark that people consider the least in their writing. Essentially, there are only 8 correct ways of using the apostrophe. 1. For a possessive singular noun. 2. When you want to tell time or quantity. 3. In the case of omission of figures in dates. 4. To indicate the omission of letters. 5. For non-standard English. 6. For stating Irish names. 7. For plural letters. 8. To indicate plural word forms. For a punctuation fanatic, misplacing apostrophes in conjunctions like CDs and books is a grave act, much like a criminal action in the world of grammar. For this reason, the author wants to shed light on all the proper ways of using apostrophes, while emphasizing the wrong ones too. Lesson 2. Commas are flexible punctuation marks, yet they too have some rules in place. Commas are considered volatile punctuation marks, as the author can place them wherever they see fit. They are often used to style up a text and offer a different connotation, so the rules that make this punctuation mark work are flexible. Still, they're there. The author highlights 7 rules for using commas. 1. Enumerating lists. 2. Conjuncting 2 sentences. 3. Filling gaps. 4. Pointing direct speech. 5. Separating an interjection. 6. For weak interruptions, bracketing commas. 7. Not using them like an idiot. Author's choice. Now, people aren't necessarily using these instructions a la carte, but that's what the author hopes to change. Although commas are flexible, people should still care for these rules and try to keep grammar intact and make use of it in their writing. Overusing commas is a violation of at least 2 rules, one of which is Rule 7. However, not using them can also cause a sentence to look like a hard-to-read, infinite accumulation of words. Naturally, you don't want that either. Just like with everything, we need balance when it comes to commas.
Now, before we get into lesson number 3, I want to give a quick shout out to short form. Short form aims to provide the most in-depth book summaries on the planet, and therefore, their extensive book guides cover not 3, not 10, but all the important ideas from a book. They even include useful exercises to make sure you'll actually implement the ideas in your life. If you're the kind of person who wants to get the absolute most out of any book they read, short form is the perfect tool for you. Use our affiliate link below this video to sign up for a free 5-day trial and secure a 20% discount should you keep your subscription. You'll also support the channel at no extra cost, as we'll get a small commission for referring you. Sign up today and start learning right away. And with that, back to the video.
Lesson 3. Don't overdo the question marks, exclamation marks, and quotations. Just like with everything else, these 3 punctuation marks have their limits. However, some writers seem to have a difficult time defining them, and we often end up reading papers that overdo them. This is especially true when it comes to exclamation marks. People and writers sometimes consider that more exclamation marks relate to their message better or get their point across in an exciting way. They overdo these punctuation marks to make the reader pay more attention to the text and interpret the feelings they're trying to express. While this is partially true, it also makes the reader interpret it differently and get tired of reading it. The lesson here is, don't overuse them. Here, the exclamation mark had a purpose and made sense. Instead, learn to embrace the period. The simple dot can keep your text easy to read and neat. When you cut your text into bite-sized chunks, it makes it easier for your audience to digest it. In other words, avoid long sentences when you can, and keep track of your commas and exclamation marks. Use words to convey sentiments, and rely less on punctuation marks to do it for you.
Hey, this is Nick, the founder of 4-Minute Books, and if you learned something new from this book summary, I'm sure this next one will also be right up your alley with new and insightful ideas. Click on over and let's keep learning.